are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back live from the 152nd edition of the Open Championship. The Claret Jug is in the vicinity. It's Barnes, it's Tony, it's Zach on the other side of the glass.
That's right, dude.
What's going on?
Not much, man. Obviously pumped here. Great time to talk about the Open, obviously. So amped for the golf, dude. I really am, Brian.
It is a complete savior that it's on tomorrow. And I would say, I mean, sure, I'm sure there's some time during football season where you have a kind of a dead point, but today might be the deadest sports day of the whole entire year.
It really is funny because we were talking about it yesterday, and I feel like it's just unlike any other year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. It really is kind of like a significantly dead sports day in terms of news, updates, whatever. And of course, we can, and it gives us time to break down into further detail certain aspects. But yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of juice around sports right now, dude.
Yeah. But once the second half gets started, we're going to be in full force.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a couple people who have commented already.
Of course, dude. Nobody misses a beat here out of our fan base. Absolutely love to see it. We have early and often Anthony Matarelli says, woohoo, pumped for the bagpipes. Me too, dude. And of course, Kev Du still wants to smoke. Didn't even watch the All-Star game last night, he says. He watched Receivers on Netflix. Great show. Got a whole lot of respect for those guys. Hashtag TCA, hashtag DTV, hashtag Sportsport. Are you aware of that show, Receivers?
Yeah, it came up. Actually, me and Sam were like going through stuff on Netflix last night.
You know who's in it?
I saw George Kittle was in it.
Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, Deebo Samuel and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I could do it.
Did you watch quarterbacks on Netflix with Mahomes?
I think I probably just saw like a quick thing on it.
I think it was Mahomes, Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, I think.
But it was Marcus Mariota. But you know what the thing is, Tony, honestly, I feel like the idea for me of sports is to get away from the fake reality TV. So then to incorporate that back in, I don't know if I necessarily need that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure I could watch this and be somewhat interesting, but even like Hard Knocks, honestly, like Matt wanted to watch it.
I was going to say, you're not into it?
It's fake though. So why do I want to watch something that's fake at the end of the day? You're telling me, oh yeah, all access. We're going to do everything straight as an arrow, exactly how we would do it. That's not the case.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. I mean, they're not showing you everything that goes on.
Right.
But I mean, like when the Jets did Hard Knocks, like it was cool to see Saleh like in the locker room with some speeches. It was cool to see, honestly, like I didn't really know how crazy in depth like their recruiting like department is, like how everyone has their own room. They're watching tape from guys in high school and middle school, even. Like it was cool to see some of those aspects. And then you do get a little bit of an inside look, is it not like better than nothing, or you really just?
Well, I mean, then when the season turned to nothing,
I mean, obviously, not great. For
then
the
it
Jets,
just felt like it's like, why did I watch that? But I have to say, the first edition, Jets, Rex Ryan, the Revis holdout way back.
That was sick.
That probably was the best season of Hard Knocks ever.
I will say, dude. I mean, because I tried to watch the Giants. It's brutal, dude. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Just because again, like I think they just got to pick the right team at the right time. And honestly, last year the Jets was great, but like you said, the season amounted to nothing. But the Giants, I mean, come on, dude. First of all, an organization that no one even wants to see, and that I feel like everyone is just tired of hearing about. Like they're gonna suck. That's it. Like, and they're not really doing. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine even Giants fans wanting to watch it. Like, aren't they fed up at this point too?
Yeah,
like,
they're stretching it too because it was always just an off-season training camp thing.
right
Now it's during the season. Now it's
bullshit.
in the off-season. The off-season. I mean, that's just a little ridiculous.
It's a joke, dude. It really is.
So yeah, that's my thing. If it's real, great. Sure, because it's like your team, it's a little more compelling. And trying to think who is it the Bears is on the. I'm trying to think of this year's Hard Knocks, like for the training camp. I'm gonna look it up. I once I see it, I'm gonna know. But
this year's Hard Knocks,
yeah.
Well, they did the Giants.
That's the offseason Hard Knocks.
Oh,
That's
you're saying for the regular season
yeah.
one? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's a great question.
Chicago Bears.
Really?
First time the Bears will be shown on the series. They are the first team on the show to have a rookie quarterback drafted number 1 since the 2018 Browns. Not necessarily a good thing because Hugh Jackson ended up getting fired. After that whole thing with Baker Mayfield went south.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, maybe they picked these teams ahead of time, like a while ago.
They don't. It's after the season.
Why?
And there's certain things like where you're eligible.
Yeah.
It's something like I think it's if you haven't made the playoffs.
Oh.
But then if you haven't been around, and like the NFL has full say, so you're basically forced to do it. Like the Jets didn't want to actually do it, even though it kind of seemed like they did.
They did want to do it. Aaron Rodgers was licking his chops at that, dude.
Yeah, but that's him, not the team.
He is the team, obviously, dude.
I mean, really.
But how does no one do the Steelers? Come on, like how does no one do the Steelers?
Because I said it. I think it's if
you have to miss the playoffs.
Like in terms of being forced, you could say you want to do it,
right.
and then they'll probably have you do it.
Right.
But other than that, like it starts with not playoff teams.
Well, if I was the NFL, I would have just made the Steelers do it because like that they have a great storyline going into this year.
Think about why they haven't done it, and I know they're so interesting.
Why the Steelers haven't done it?
Yeah, I'm saying because Tomlin, he wants everything. Like he just doesn't want to have to deal with that.
Oh yeah, I get that. He seems like a guy who would hate to do something.
But you know what's so interesting? He's been there going on 17 seasons. They haven't made the playoffs in going on 8 years. Is he kind of overrated? I know he always has a winning record. But at the end of the day, I mean, do you play, NFL to have a above 500 record?
I mean, no. At the end of the day, you don't. At the end of the day, you win Super Bowls.
I mean, I know there's circumstances as well, and he's only won one, which was what? I mean, how long ago was that?
Jeez, I don't know. Over a decade, right?
What wasn't it actually?
11? 09? No.
Trying to.
If you had to guess, what would you say before I look it up?
I don't know why I'm blanking. 06? Was it just 08? I think it was 08.
They beat the Falcons?
No, they beat.
When did they play the Falcons? Didn't they put no?
No. They put the Seahawks in 06. Who the hell did they play in 08? The Cardinals. The Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Something of the red.
But think about how long ago that was. I'm saying 06. I mean, what's the deal though? I mean, is he overrated at the end of the day?
No, I don't think he's overrated. Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like people don't rate him highly. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I think it's always Mike Tomlin is a very good football coach. Like people say it with like some regard.
But I feel like they say that because he does have a winning record, and that's it. Though they don't. I wouldn't say. I don't hear people saying, "Oh, he's the best coach of all time."
By the way, it wasn't that he hasn't made the playoffs since 2016. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, but he lost the first game. 4 consecutive trips, and then missed the playoffs 3 other seasons.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think you could throw it more so on like the organization as a whole, bringing in people? Or?
No, quarterback really, because I think they let Big Ben go a couple too many years.
Right.
They've had a tough time replacing him, and now they're going to see if Russ or Justin Fields is the answer.
So at the end of the day, like how much more time you giving Mike here?
I think they're going to just give him till whenever. But if it's
you.
I don't know. It's tough for me to really say because it's like whether it's Russ or Justin Fields. I mean, would on any team that they were on, I mean, would they be considered like ready to win a championship right now?
No.
So that's why. But is it like, do we need to see him win a playoff game, even though there's no prizes for second and third place? But do we need to see some type of progression?
Yeah. I mean, I would expect it from the Steelers this year. I mean, I feel like that they're going to have some type of, momentum coming in this year, the new quarterbacks, which, I think for the first time we're going to see, hopefully, a quarterback I would imagine they go with Russ, right? I mean, they're gonna have
That's
to,
what it
like,
seems like. But then again, it seems like they would like to have Justin Fields as their future quarterback. So it's like, how much of a leash does Russ get? It's kind of an interesting situation.
It is very interesting, and honestly, what is even more interesting too, I saw, I don't even know where I saw this or why it popped up, but it was comparing last year's stats of Wilson to
Justin Fields.
No, Jalen Hurts.
And they were similar.
Yeah, he actually had Russ had more touchdowns, less interceptions thrown.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy. Because obviously Hurts is regarded as a great quarterback, and Russ is like kind of on the fritz, I feel.
I'm thinking about this as we're going along. I think he's actually going to ball out. Honestly, I think it's just because people don't like him.
Yeah,
they've really put him down more than he needs to be, and they don't realize how hard it is to get like strong quarterback play in this league.
Yeah, and I think also that people are like with the whole Seahawks thing, we're all with Pete Carroll sort of deal. And I mean, where's Pete Carroll now?
Yeah. I mean, you would think he's going to surface on some of these like pregame shows or something, right?
I would think. Well, does he have like an advisory gig with the Seahawks or something like that?
Okay, he might, but he could still do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hope so, dude. I mean, he definitely is. He's got enough pep in his step to do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this more and more. Revamped roster, definitely talented. I think they got to win a playoff game, and I don't know if that'll be the stipulation, but I mean, how much patience are you going to have? Like, I don't know. I guess it just like, where's the fine line with being good but not great and never winning? Like, how do you determine that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say if there's one thing he is, I mean, he's been consistently good. You could say.
But are we almost in Aaron Boone territory? And obviously, yes, if we're comparing professions, of course, Mike Tomlin is better at his job. But are the results not the same?
Relatively.
I mean, I guess, sure, he won in 2008, but that's 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time ago.
That's basically the Yankees in 2009.
Yeah, it is.
Except
so they had a different manager. He's been there the whole time, so making it worse for Boone. But continue.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at this point, Mike Tomlin, I mean, new roster. I will give you maybe 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
Right?
To win a Super Bowl.
Win, at least get there.
But it comes down to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about this. Their division is tough, but I mean, they won 10 games last year with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky.
Offense. Yeah, dude.
So I mean, you would think they should be able to win like 11 games. I don't know. It's just so tough because of that division. What are the Bengals going to look like now that Burrow's healthy? Will he stay healthy? What will Deshaun Watson do? Last year, obviously, the Browns had one more win. But Watson looked terrible. They needed Joe Flacco to lead them to the playoffs. We just kind of thinking about this. Who do you think is going to finish higher this year? Browns or the Steelers?
Oh, that's so tough. I mean, I don't know what the Browns have been doing this offseason. I don't even know who they've acquired. But just based on how the Steelers are looking now as opposed to last year, I'm gonna say the Steelers.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, their roster is like way better.
And Watson, I don't know. I mean, he could like turn it up, but I just kind of feel like he got his money after that whole, nightmare situation for him. Is he just checked out? Like, does he just not care? Like, he has all this guaranteed money. Like, where's the motivation come?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it seems like he doesn't really have much of a inclination to like prove himself, clear his name up a little bit, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you even
they did get Judy though.
Jameis
That's a good
Winston, dude.
I forgot they have Winston. That's a good backup to have.
That is a great backup to have. Amari Cooper, obviously great. David Njoku, but these are guys from last season too. It's like,
I think their defense is good, so it's going to be interesting. That is a gauntlet of a division.
Yeah, it is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. So kind of interesting stuff, and I think we mentioned this the other day, but with football, definitely a lot closer than it feels like.
Getting a little excited. I'm not gonna lie, dude. How about speaking of getting closer than it feels like, 79 days until first puck drop.
That seems like a very long time away. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not in a rush.
Dude,
for that.
how about this? I was again, I don't know the validity of these statements, but I was on Twitter yesterday. I heard murmurs that Trouba's gonna end up getting traded, that the Rangers are not happy with like the attitude and obviously the scenario they're all in. I mean, it's gotta be weird.
Yeah.
So it's like it sounds like he's gonna get traded, and if like Trouba tries to block the trade, or it's like one of the teams under no trade clause, they're going to probably waiver him, and then he'll get picked up by Detroit, I think, is where the landing spot seems to be anyway. So I guess we'll see what happens, but obviously, tough over there.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I was just gonna see if anything came up in the search. I saw something the other day kind of alluding to that he was still gonna get traded, but
yeah. Which I mean is good, dude. Like I think it should. It's gonna suck if he has to get wavered. That'll be the second player the Rangers have to waiver in order to get him off the roster. Because they wavered Gaudreau, I think. Gaudreau.
They're so some NHL insider. Let's see, is this guy actually legit? I guess 2.7 thousand followers. So they're saying Sabres, the Utah franchise, and St. Louis are interested.
St. Louis, really?
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good fit for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Sabres too. The Sabres for me have been a little bit of a dark horse team to root for, just because New York, and they're not the Islanders. So.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about Buffalo before. Tage Thompson, dude.
Yeah, Tage Thompson. Yeah,
where's he been?
They definitely had a disappointing year last year.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that situation plays out. But I've definitely been highly disappointed with the way they've operated this offseason. But
me too.
You never know.
I haven't been a Colony since.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. It's weird because remember last season I thought they did the wrong thing. Then it seemed like I was wrong for thinking that. But then as the season ended, kind of was I already ahead of this a year ago? I mean, think about it though, Tony. I did say that's what they need. That's what they need to do. They need, and here we are again.
Connor McDavid.
But I said that they need to change things up. They can't rely on the same core. They still don't want to change things up. I mean, are we headed down the same path?
I mean,
you don't want to be,
dude.
and you don't want to think that, but
not.
Also you have to be realistic at the same time too. Nothing really points to like all of a sudden, wow, like you know what I mean? It's like these guys are going to step up in the postseason. I don't know what points to that. Is this guy in the minors going to be a star?
Brendan Othman,
yeah,
possibly. Honestly, he's gotten a lot of obviously great highlights from the minors. Gotten some good looks though too in the majors last season, the past 2 years, I guess, or just maybe one last season. But nonetheless, I mean, I agree with you. You want to get over that hump of the playoffs, but it's just so tough, dude. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, there's no move you're gonna make that's gonna make your team better on paper or in the regular season. So there's going to be some type of drop off with whatever move you're making. As I'm watching, honestly, highlights of the '94 Rangers behind you. But nonetheless, dude, I think getting rid of Trouba is a good spot here, and whoever they pick up, because they're gonna have.
They're not gonna get anything good, but it's good to get rid of him.
It is cap space, dude. So much cap space.
Captain.
And honestly, dude, new captain, probably arguably more deserving captain.
You're saying Chris Kreider?
It could be honestly.
But it seems like it's Kreider.
Trocheck.
But it's just Kreider because he's better seniority. And do it right this time. We knew this before. They didn't do it. Make up for it now.
Yeah, wow, dude. Semifinal, Stanley Cup here. Rangers guaranteeing the Game 7 win. Brian Leetch, Connecticut guy. But anyway, dude, yeah. I mean, I got my confidence in Drury still. I do.
Yeah.
A good season.
I think he's getting like he's a worse version of Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin or Aaron.
I don't know. I think it's like it's put up or shut up time.
Obviously, dude. I mean, the Rangers fans are impatient. The 30 years, this past season, it brought so much hope to Rangers fans. I mean, I'll say it again. I was more confident in the Rangers I've ever been in my entire life for winning a cup. And to see them lose, obviously devastating. And I need to be back there next year.
You need to be back there, but like, isn't even trading Trouba? We both agree it's not some big return.
No.
So, but getting back there, winning, getting to the Stanley Cup at this point, because no one of consequence has been brought in, and sure you could do some of the trade deadline, but aren't you basically just relying on, somebody's gonna have a big postseason to get us there? I mean, that you're kind of like, it's like you're just taking a guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, obviously you're the GM, you're the coach of the team, you're taking an educated guess.
Is it educated though?
I mean, you're in there every day with the players. Like, it's educated more than us.
But there's nothing that points to it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like being negative, but is it not true?
No, I think it is, dude. And it's actually so funny you say that word negative. I was just thinking about how negative this show has been the past few days with like the no sports, dude, the Derby, the All-Star game. Oh, so funny. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that you can have just as good of a regular season, at least the first half, without Trouba. I mean, you're not really missing much when you do deal him, if you do end up trading him or whatever. And then that does free up space at the deadline to pick up the pieces you need for the playoffs. So I think Drury here, again, I mean, it's so tough for us because it's like we don't really have a roadmap laid out for us on what these guys are thinking. But it seems like Drury is kind of thinking at the deadline, he's going to have cap space. He can bring someone in there. Because I don't really know who or what he would make moves now.
But it's just that's so risky, though. Who's available? Will good people be available? They could, they couldn't. It depends on the performance of the other team. Yeah, again, it's just I feel like it's too jumbled. It's no concrete plan, and I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
No, I mean it is risky, dude. But I mean, I guess alternative was, let's say, what? Maybe you trade Trouba for a couple pieces. You're not going to be. I mean, again, you're not trading him straight up for like Steven Stamkos or anything. Like he doesn't have that value.
A couple of pieces, like isn't this like a combination of like middling draft picks, middling prospects, or third or fourth line players? Like it's like you're getting a starter for Trouba.
No, you're not. That's what I'm saying though. So like your alternative was to, again, like try to rush to get rid of him now to a team where he would feel comfortable going to, which you may have gotten a lower return because of that. And then on top of that, you still have to bring in a star. All right. Maybe you bring in a Stamkos or a Gensel and you waste the rest of your cap space. And then when the deadline comes this season, when you still maybe need another player, you don't have that cap space to work with. And maybe you're doing a bit more of a rigmarole to get there, where at the end of the day, maybe now Drury is relying on the roster he has, some young guys to come up during the regular season and maybe make an impact. If not, he does have some cap space to end up working with. But then again, I mean, I don't know. We talked about what Drew was thinking before. We've been wrong about that. So I guess we'll see. You never know. He could pull out some ridiculous trade with Trouba out of nowhere, and then they're kind of set. But I think at this time, you're probably looking at the deadline to get that big guy to put you over the hump in the playoffs. But regardless, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like I could agree that rolling into the first half of the season with the same team, I mean, they're not going to be bad. There's no way they're going to be bad. Come on.
I don't know if they could be as good. I mean, that was a really special season last year.
It was very special, but you are putting out those same guys, basically. And honestly, like, in my opinion, if you put Trouba out there, or if you don't have Trouba out there and you bring in a guy who's a better defenseman, you're probably letting up less goals, because we've seen Trouba have blown defensive plays before. Yes, he comes in with the physicality and the energy, but sometimes, he wasn't the best on defense.
Yeah.
And that was evident in the playoffs. So I think time will tell. It is really tough. I just really wish they would have like, oh, hey, guys, by the way, we're going to trade Trouba, free up cap space. We're rolling with these same guys. I got the confidence. Deadline comes around. We're going to be, itching for that big guy to get us over the hump of the playoffs, but we're getting there.
And I do think too, that if this season doesn't work out, I think Dolan's going to fire everybody. Honestly, I think because he's shown to be impatient.
Yeah. And obviously we've seen quite a few Rangers coaches
2-year stints.
In the past 8-10 years, let's say. So clearly Dolan is not, afraid to do that. And honestly, I would agree with you. I mean, I think if you can't make it to the Cup next year, there's got to be some significant changes.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to say, because I love Laviolette. So far, Drury, although does have a cup to show for it, has done great with the rebuild and the turnaround of the Rangers and everything like that. So it would be a shame to see these guys go, but like you said, dude, like it's now. It's shit.
But I love that, especially what I had to deal with the Yankees and Cashman and Boone. It is nice to see a team that typically is reactive. You do appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, it's the Rangers. A historical, traditional organization.
I know it's so tough to say, but Brendan Othman, is he going to be like within the top two lines, or do you think he like the ease into it, third, fourth line type
ease
of guy?
Into it, yeah, definitely.
But you could see him working his way up to one, or
absolutely. I mean, I think he's going to be some significant competition with a guy we just signed for one more year, Capo Caco. And it should be interesting to see what goes on there. I heard some murmurs too of him getting traded. To be honest,
that actually when I looked up the Trouba thing.
But then I don't know. Why'd you sign him for a year?
But that's almost Cashman like with Kakko. It's like
sign him for a year.
No, but I'm saying just to keep him at this point. Like,
I know, but I know, dude.
But it's the and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, you know how I feel about him. You know, I have a certain soft spot for Kakko.
You have to be pissed at the same time as well, Tony. I mean, it's like,
no, yeah. I mean,
it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and you know, you're even seeing Alexis Lafreniere having great years, or a great year, I should say. And Kakko, you know, was injured, and he's still a huge question mark right now coming into this season. So,
300 career games, and he's only has 57 goals.
How old is Kakko now?
Does
it say?
I guess this is clickable. He is 23. I know it's still young, but it's like I don't think the age matters. Like, you've had a lot of ice time, you've had time to prove yourself. You haven't. I mean, that is the case, you know?
No, yeah, that is definitely the case. I know, dude. It's so tough.
What's the deal with I guess he just hasn't made his debut yet. Adam Soroka and Gabe Peralt. I've heard Peralt's name before, but I guess Peralt was their first round pick in 23.
Yeah, I was gonna say really young, right? I think he was the guy from BC.
It says U.S. National Development Team, but I don't know if that means.
That's what he was.
He's 19.
Oh, so maybe he came out of high school then, I guess.
And then Adam Soroka is 19 as well.
Let's see. Oh no. Oh yeah, Peralt is. Yeah, he is still in college.
Oh, so he doesn't even play in the minors.
He hasn't even played in the minors yet. He was drafted 23 overall by the Rangers, obviously. And number 34 on BC, dude.
B and C.
I want to see, like, that's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure Sacred Heart must have played him this year because they played BC, I think, in like an exhibition thing.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe he didn't even play. Who knows, dude? But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, you want to be excited for him. But again, little ways away here. And then Soroka, I feel like I looked him up. We talked about him because that name sounds familiar because obviously I thought of Mike Soroka. But regardless, I think these guys are a couple of years away from the league. I think
just like EJ Emery, their first round pick this year, 18 years old, the defenseman.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, to be honest. BC?
Yeah. British Columbia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully, yeah, some of these guys get in the mixes. I mean, that's what they need. And I've, you know, to kind of make a parallel with the Yankees, I've always thought that was the key to them returning to the standards that they set. You know, just using your farm, using your prospects.
Right.
Really, I think it applies for every sport, but yet teams, for whatever reason, get away from that. And the Rangers, too. I'm trying to think, really. I mean, last couple of years, I mean, it hasn't been great with like guys that they drafted, right? That have developed.
I mean,
obviously you think of those two guys, but
Kakko.
But you think Kakko was already drafted 5 years ago.
I know.
Bobby was the year after.
Right.
So
I mean,
since then Rempe was a lower pick, but I don't think he has a future with the Rangers.
I mean, yeah, it's tough, dude. I saw some video of him practicing fighting, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
You just do boxing or play in the NFL.
I mean, it's great
yeah.
that you're doing that, I suppose, because that's what you fight, you want to practice it, it's fine. But I want to see see videos of you like skating better.
Yeah.
How about that, dude? Let's focus on that for a little bit.
So let's see what happens, right? But we do have the fourth and final major championship of the PGA Tour season starting tomorrow. Royal Troon Golf Club. So this is exciting stuff here. And this is actually the 10th edition of the Open Championship at Royal Troon.
Wow.
The first was held in 1923. Arthur Havers won that tournament. Bobby Locke in 1950. Arnold Palmer 1962. Tom Weiskopf, who was posthumously, I know I said that wrong, inducted into the Golf Hall of Fame at the U.S. Open last month. You had Tom Watson in 82. Mark Calcavecchia, who does who does some work for PGA Tour Radio in 89. Justin Leonard, who's playing this week. in 1997. Todd Hamilton, who's also playing this week in 2004, and then Henrik Stenson in 2016. We talked about that duel with Phil Mickelson. And this is the 152nd edition of the Open Championship, the highest purse in Open Championship history, with a winner's share of $3.1 million. Your defending champion, of course, is Brian Harman, who won at Royal Liverpool last year in dominant fashion, 6 strokes clear of Day, Kim, Rahm, and Straka. That was a winning score of 13 under. Cam Smith won at 20 under par, shooting a 268 at St. Andrews, 1 stroke clear of Cam Young, 2 strokes clear of Rory McIlroy. One of those close but not close enough for Rory back in 22.
Classic.
You had Colin Morikawa win in 2021 at Royal St. George's, 2 strokes clear of Jordan Spieth at 15 under par. No tournament in 2020 due to COVID. 2019, Shane Lowry, 6-stroke victory at 15 under par over Tommy Fleetwood. That was at Royal Portrush, Rory's home course. He, of course, that year shot 80 in the opening round and ultimately missed the cut. Francisco Molinari in 2018 won at 8 under par. This was kind of that start of what led up to Tiger winning the Masters in 2019. Had a very good shot that year at the Open, but came up just short at Carnoustie. So that was 8 under par. So that was the last time, we saw single digits under par. Am I missing something, Mike?
I'm missing multiple things.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little taste test.
Taste test right now?
Oh, yeah. You got to do it.
I didn't sign anything.
It's just a little bit.
Wait, but
what was the backstory?
Let's back this up a little bit.
What do we got going on here?
Espresso martini.
All right.
It's a little sample. I'm gonna pour. It's a tongue. It's not gonna get you popped, dude.
No, but like where these bottles come from?
Yeah.
Like who gave them to you?
Yeah.
I can't hear what you're saying, Renee.
Fifth State Distillery is downstairs doing a taste test with the building.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So I figured you guys could try it out and see what you think.
That's pretty awesome.
Only way I'm agreeing to this, Tony's going first.
Okay.
Right.
I want to see. I want a full commentary just so I can kind of see.
Tony, I need you to do the whole. I'm having the.
I want
Okay,
Tony to
yeah,
actually have the
whatever
whole
you need.
bottle.
Yeah,
Actually,
dude.
if we could do
I'll
that.
chug it if you want me to.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't know what
Renee
I'll be
tried
doing
all
today,
them.
dude. Wow, that's crazy.
There's chocolate ones.
Whoa.
You guys.
Wait, so what's the name of this place again?
Fifth State Distillery.
Oh, Fifth Street. Yeah. They've been here before. Nice, dude. Yeah. Fifth State.
Fifth State.
What is the fifth
Yeah,
state? Is
what
it
is it?
Connecticut?
I
I don't know. Is it?
don't know.
Oh, well, look it up. Fifth State Distillery. Oh, Bridgeport. I knew that. Yeah, I remember talking about it with them or with you. We talked about them. All right. Oh my God, these are ice cold.
Which so you're chugging?
This
No, I
one it
got
says shake and pour. Did you shake it before you poured it? Okay, cool. And then this one, that's the espresso martini one, by the way. It says shake and pour. And then this one is the bee's knees, which is gin with lemonade and honey. Wow, dude. This one says chill and pour. No dairy, and refrigerate after opening. That seems pretty cool, dude. Which one should I try first, you think?
I would say the espresso, and then you could have the lemon to get that flavor going.
That's true. That is a palate cleanser, dude. A little limoncello. All right, I guess let's do the freaking espresso one here. It's whiskey, though. It's espresso martini whiskey. Let's freaking go. It was really good.
Really?
It definitely tastes like whiskey with like espresso. like,
Okay.
hints in it at the end. And it kind of makes a little bit of a smoother shot, I would say, because of the espresso. It's not as like a harsh, like agita, heartburning whiskey. Thank you. And now this is gin. We're gonna be mixing light and dark alcohols today, so watch out.
Watch that. You can drink some water after this.
Drink some
Tony.
water after this, dude. This is the one where we say it's gin and honey and lemonade. Oh wow, it smells amazing. Wow, that is really good. That tastes like limoncello.
And if you had to say which one was better,
Man, it depends. I mean, you're kind of looking at two different like occasions. I feel this is like drinking on the beach.
Drinking on the beach,
and this is like fireside or you know, backyard fire pit. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, I would definitely. These are freaking delicious, dude.
I'll just say it's fine.
Oh,
it's like taste, you know, you're not gonna get caught.
Yeah,
I feel like you could tell me that before I did this. Then
I don't think any dipping of the tongue, Tony, is necessary. Yeah, so this is rare air here for what is it called again?
Oh, the Fifth State Distillery in Bridgeport. They're in Bridgeport.
Yeah,
let's
so
freaking
only
go,
for you guys, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this.
Full review.
Okay.
Is this espresso?
Yeah, the espresso. Okay. You know what's tough with it? Because I like an espresso martini, and I just feel like I don't know. I wouldn't mix the two.
Right.
I would just have the whiskey separate. So that's just my thought on that one. That mix is better than lemonade.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
dude.
I would say, like you said, the beach reminds me of a Deep Eddies.
Yeah, something like that, dude. It is very good. Honestly, this may have to be something that's looked into, like this one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
like during the summer.
I'm not gonna lie though, I definitely
time.
Like got into trouble with Deep Eddies a couple times. Like not actual trouble, but just where it's just like way too much. Like the next day, terrible. Like,
thank you, dude. Oh, you have to give the bottles back. Yeah.
Did it ever happen to you? Did you ever have a long night courtesy of Deep Eddies?
Definitely, dude. For a while, like heavy on the nips of Deep Eddies.
I used to go the whole
the whole sleeve,
like
dude. Yeah. Oh, really? You used to get bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we always used to rip the nips, which were always good, especially like when you go to the bar, put a few in your pocket. Maybe you overthink a little bit, your eyes bigger than your stomach. All of a sudden you have like 12 of them. And it's a fun night.
Yeah, but it was the sugar stuff is just too much at the end of the day.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't think I mean I didn't look at the label, but I would imagine there's much sugar in those things. Honestly, they seem to be pretty top notch.
But the thing is, like vodka has a ton of sugar in it.
Yeah.
How? You know,
I know.
So I'm sure.
True.
You say
it is lemonade. Yeah, lemonade.
There's
the
probably
other day,
60 grams of sugar in there. I guarantee it.
60 grams is a lot.
It is. Josh B. Route for the day drinking.
Is he actually? Oh, wow, dude. Coming in just in time. He says that he's late. Just finished his interview with Have a Day Fam Hashtag TCA Sports Player DB. Is his day drinking with the strong arms. And I got to say, like, super dangerous, dude. Like, once that alcohol hit my lips.
Oh, you're saying now you're trying to get hammered.
I mean, it's like, you might as well.
Really?
Right?
Wow. So this is going to be a double-digit day.
Like,
you can tell.
I mean, it's Wednesday. Probably not. Like, it probably won't be at all, actually, but.
What if like they came back and said you could keep the handles? You think you?
Wow, dude. Then it's like we'll probably do Gaming Corner right now.
Gaming Corner
right now, dude, and then go to Southport for lunch, Horseshoe the rest of the night.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a pretty good agenda. You know,
it was great, dude. And then maybe keep the Horseshoe open. Hey, listen, 1:36 a.m. is the guy's first tea time. Let's go, dude.
Jeff would be riled. Speaking of tea times,
when is the first tea time
to the golf? It is 1:35. So that was good job by you there. I think the Frank the Tank style, Josh says. But the first tea time I believe is Justin Leonard, the amateur. What is it? Jackson, Jack McDonald, and then Todd Hamilton. So the last two winners, they like to do that. So that's pretty cool. So this is you look at the history of the Open. Most years you're looking at least 10 under par. And I mean, you look at this, I mean, since the last 12 years, there's only been two or I guess last 11 years there's only been one tournament that was that small under par. So a lot of times these guys do well. And of course, like we said in 2016, Henrik was 20 under. So I would expect scoring to be aplenty. We'll see. And obviously weather always playing into this as well. And when you think about Royal Troon, you look at the statistics here. It is a par 71, and it's 7,175 yards. So you know, it's you know, definitely a tough test, and you know, gives you all of your traditional links style feels. And you know, with the rough and just the open fairways. So you know, it'll be interesting to see how many of those drives, you know, travel an extra 150 yards because of the roll. So pretty cool stuff here. And how about this, Tony? Of the top 50 in the world, 49 golfers will be playing this week.
No way.
So
you know who the one isn't?
You know, it's the, let's see, I just was looking at this before. So whoever the 41st player in the world is, but I'll look this up right now.
41st.
Yeah, the OWGR.com.
Lucas Glover? No way. No, he's 30th.
I don't know why I guess it's a weak internet. Okay, go down here to 41.
Ranking 41. Cameron Davis.
I wonder. Oh, that's weird that he didn't qualify.
That is interesting.
But I guess he's not really that good, so that would make sense. Let's just see this for a second.
Rory's still at number 2?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Do the golf rankings flip-flop often during the year? Like at the top,
every week.
At the very top?
Yeah, I mean, but it's all points, you know,
right?
So you could see, obviously, Scotty,
like
no one's close.
There. Yeah.
Really, and then there's a separation with Rory and Xander.
Points are based on what? No idea.
I mean, wins, finishes, strength of field.
Right. Because I was trying to figure this out with the World Tennis Association too, because it's very odd how they have their own rankings and then tournaments have different seedings, not based on their rankings. It's a little confusing to try and dictate what is, you know, important to look at.
What is what? Yeah.
What is what? Dude?
So this is, you know, majors or I would say, you know, besides the toughest test for the players, kind of the toughest test for us to determine who's going to win. You know, I mentioned all the top golfers are here. So there's just a bunch of questions that we have to ask. You know, will Scotty win his third major of his career? Will Rory win his first major in over 10 years? Will Xander Schauffele win his second major of the season? Will Ludwig Aubert win the first major of his career? Will Colin Morikawa win the first major in 3 years? Does Victor Hovland strike lightning in a bottle? Does Bryson carry over his momentum, you know, from last month's U.S. Open? Does Jon Rahm get back in the conversation? Does Tommy Fleetwood finally break through? Does Brian Harman somehow defend his title from last year? You know, or is it time for Tom Kim to get on the map, or Robert McIntyre? Does he go back to back, or is it time for Tony Finau to win again? I mean, how do we answer these questions? How do we determine this? It really is such a tough thing to cap.
Yeah, dude, it really is super hard. And, you know, looking at the past results too, I find it pretty interesting too, looking at, you know, the last time it was at Royal Troon. You mentioned 2016.
The separation at the top.
Yeah. What's the deal there? You know, Mickelson in second, 17 under, Stenson 20 under, third place 6 under. What was that? I mean, do you is this course more of a 20 under, or is it more of like a 10 under?
Well, you look at the complete history here. So when we, you know, you had that being 20 under, but then before that, Hamilton won at 10, Leonard at 12, Calcavecchia at 13.
So more of a 10 under.
10 to 15. 10 to 15. That's what it shows the previous 3 editions. So
yeah, I mean, it's a tough looking course, dude.
It is.
I mean, jeez, dude.
Ryan McNeil, do you think he's riled?
Howdy ho, Downtime TV's absolutely riled. The first time in a long time, Ryan McNeil. Glad you're here to join us, dude. I didn't forget.
Come on. You gotta have fun with it.
Of course, dude. Royal Troon, dude.
So yeah, a lot of storylines, and I think, you know, we'll do some other type of selections. But to start, Tony, who is kissing the claret jug on Sunday morning and winning the 152nd edition of the Open Championship?
Pretty tough, but before the year started, we did our major predictions. And I had Victor Hovland winning this one, and I'm gonna stick to Victor Hovland. I've been sticking to my picks all year. And to be honest, I know maybe he's a little bit of an underdog. Coming into this year, not great numbers. But regardless, you look at him right here and his past at this tournament specifically. Last year tied 13th, year before that tied for 4th, year before that tied for 12th. So historically, his career, I know only 3 tournaments, maybe not large sample size, none of which at Royal Troon, obviously, but still consistently has done well 3 years at this tournament. Obviously can handle, I guess, Scotland, or at least, the weather over there and whatnot. And he obviously is, a super talented golfer, young. I think this could be a tournament, a major, where he kind of, quite literally, drops the mic, comes out pretty strong. And I think one of the keys for him will be his play, kind of around the green. There's a lot of drop-offs around the green, which makes the course tough. And he, this year, I think, is one of the worst golfers in terms of strokes gained around the green. So if Hovland can keep it tight within 40, 30 yards of the green, I have enough confidence in his putting and his drive that he could win this tournament. So give me Victor Hovland winning this one, and I'm going to say by the tune of 14 under.
There we go.
So let's go.
Wow. Hovland at 14 under.
Yeah.
Sleeper.
Sleepers are tough, dude. I'm kind of eyeing up 2 guys right now, to be honest. One of which is Tony Finau, which I probably will end up going with Tony Finau, just because, again, sleepers, I like to kind of pick the same guy a couple times because, there's sleepers. So I guess I will go with Tony Finau. Top 20 in each of his last 5 events. He tied 18th at the PGA. He tied 3rd at the US Open. We know about his history at this tournament as well. It would be dope to see him, win here at Royal Troon. So I guess give me Tony Finau. And if he's going to win, I'll say he'll win at 17 under. That's right. Ooh.
Okay.
For
like whatever. That. No. It's not that. I'm just annoyed. I don't know
Wi-Fi?
why. It's not Wi-Fi. It's just for some reason Microsoft 365, where I have the picks, is just like acting up. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Just see this.
Another player though, while you're trying to figure that out, I was eyeing up, which would be really kind of. Well, I guess the odds are the same as Finau when I looked it up, but Oosthuizen, dude, watch out. Apparently, if you want to put a couple shekels on him, obviously, he won here. Actually, no, I think it was at St. Andrews in 2010. He won the PGA, his only major.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of crazy to see. And we know, the past few years, just watching these tournaments with Brian and stuff, a lot of runner-ups he had the past few years. PGA, obviously, we know him at Live, where I think it's been kind of the same story. I think he finished top 5 last week, though. So he could kind of come in here, maybe win this tournament for the second time in his career. So you never know.
Okay, so I'm just marking this down. So you had Hovland at 14 under, but then also if he does win, you're saying that Finau would win at 17 under.
I think so.
And then Oosthuizen as a dark horse. One of the most interesting spellings. I don't think anybody could first try get it right.
No way.
And if he were to win Oosthuizen, is that like a -10?
What do you mean?
Like meaning like everybody struggles. That's how he gets to win.
Oh, like his score, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, just that guy has blown leads before. It'll definitely be a 10 under. Yeah.
All right. And then for me here, this is tough.
It is tough, dude. It really is.
My pick at the beginning of the year was Rory. I'll copy you. I'll just do it. I'll say that it's Rory.
I mean, you're riled for Rory a little bit.
I don't know. I just think things will be so much different once he wins, and then I don't know. Then it's like that conversation's over, and then I think it'll result in some better golf, some exciting finishes. So I will go with Rory. I'm gonna say I think this is gonna be a battle. I'm gonna say 12 under for Rory. And then in terms of a sleeper here, going with somebody down on the list. Oosthuizen, by the way, that was a good one. I definitely like that pick.
Yeah, you did.
How about somebody who's down to 77th in the world? but won this tournament only 2 years ago. Give me Cam Smith. He won it at 20 under in 2022. I think if he wins this one, it'll be 15 under. So that would be a good story. Obviously, it kind of has faded into oblivion since going to the Live Tour. And then if I had to give a dark horse, Tony, give me Ernie Els. Okay, 12 years since last winning the Open Championship. And just so this weekend, if I'm hammered at the bar, Tony, I could ask everybody if they heard that Ernie Els once again hoisted the claret jug. But being that that would be on a Sunday, I probably will not be hammered at the bar, but maybe at the Horseshoe potentially.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude.
It's annoying though that the tournament's so early, so it's not like it's still going to be going on, but it'll be a nice day of recap.
That's
champion. Right. So if Els wins it, I'm going to say it would be 8 under par. So
wow,
those are some good picks there. But let's keep going here with predictions, with picks. Next thing to ask you, Tony, here, Tiger. Does he make the cut, miss the cut? And if he misses the cut, what is his like 2 rounds? If he makes the cut, where does he finish? If he misses the cut, what are his 2 rounds over the 2 days?
That's tough, dude. I think he does make the cut.
Makes the cut. Okay.
I think he makes the cut.
And where does he place?
I'm trying to think here. The cut line.
I mean, it's just I always do like 60 as kind of like a rule of thumb. Like in terms of 60 guys make the cut. Maybe it's a little more, maybe it's a little less, but around there.
So 60 guys make the cut. I mean,
you want to go 65, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, let's say 60 guys make the cut. And I feel like, again, like at a course like this, he can probably be like, I don't know, what do you think the cut line would be? Like 2 over?
Yeah. 2 to 3 over. Yeah.
Damn. You know, that sounded good in my head, but now when you say it, I feel like after 2 rounds, he could be at the cut line, 2 over. So
okay, but then where like place and where does he end up? After he makes the cut, wheels fall off.
Probably. I mean, he's not breaking. I don't know, man. Maybe he'll come in there at 50th.
Okay.
Let's say.
And
50th.
What does that equate to?
I want to say like 5 or 6 over. Let's say 6 over.
Okay. +6.
Yeah.
All right. And for me on that, I'm going to say a miscut. And I think he's going to shoot. He's going to open with a 75. And then on Friday, he will follow that up with a 74. So that would be 7 over. So +7, missing the cut. Top live golfer.
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I know I got Oosthuizen as the dark horse. Yeah. But nonetheless here, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where Phil lands up. I mean, I know Bryson's up there. I know you were kind of talking about Rahm yesterday too. I don't think Rahm's gonna be up there. Koepka?
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, let's go Koepka.
What
do you think?
I am gonna go. I actually was thinking Koepka, but you know what?
I'll go
Rahm. And then last question here. Somebody just mark this down. Does a golfer over the age of 50 make the cut? And if so, who?
Over the age of 50.
Yeah.
It's a great question. I mean, I could see Phil's probably making the cut.
You're saying Phil makes the cut?
I would say Phil would be definitively making the cut.
Okay. And for me on this, I had to continue the theme. Ernie Els making the cut, 54 years young. So 50 plus. Okay. So, I mean, I think those are some
great picks here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Phil's going to make it?
No.
Missed the cut, really?
Yep.
He's, I don't even know. I feel like I read somewhere he was doing well with Liv, maybe hit or miss.
No. He finished well the last tournament. But this year majors have been a disaster.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's true. It's a good point. Where do you think Scotty is going to finish? We haven't really
Top
mentioned
10.
him. Like 7?
yeah.
Wow.
But it's just so hard until somebody wins their second major of the season. I feel strongly about it not happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. There's just been a lot of parity over the last couple of years.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, dude. Not easy to do that.
I guess I'm gonna throw you one more here.
What do you got?
Big name completely blows up, misses the cut. Who?
Honestly, I would probably pick Xander right there.
Really?
I'm looking at it right now.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
surprising one. Go down here. I just want to see. Okay, so you're gonna go Xander MC. I am gonna go back up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna
McIntyre. MC?
No,
Oh.
you're gonna be tight, but I'm gonna say Hovland misses the cut.
Oh my God.
So Hovland MC, and then you have Xander. Xander MC is crazy.
That would be crazy.
I wonder when the last time
He missed the cut?
yeah at a major.
Mm.
Probably wasn't that long ago, but I know it wasn't this year. You know the easiest way on this for the majors is Wikipedia always has a separate major section. So I got it though. All right. So the last time he missed the cut was the 2022 Masters. But if you look at his last 7 or even since then, okay. So this would be his last 10 majors. 13th at the PGA, 14th at the US Open, 15th at the Open, 10th at the Masters, 18th at the PGA, 10th at the US Open, 17th at the Open, 8th at the Masters, won the PGA, tied for 7th at the US Open. Pretty good track record there.
I would say it's a great track record. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to be fun. Obviously, going to get underway bright and early. I can't say I will be up to see Todd Hamilton hit his opening tee shot. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some good John Daly highlights. You know he's wearing the plaid pants. There's no way
absolutely,
he doesn't, right?
dude. What? No, I mean he definitely is. He's going to be making an impact. Certainly.
Does he break 80?
I want to say 77? 77?
77?
77?
No, I say more likely that he misses withdraws than breaks 80, honestly. But that'll be some highlight reels if he's honed in, Tony.
Oh my God. Imagine he's your leader after day 1.
Did you see when he's teeing off?
Negative. Let's look it up. Let's see.
He is teeing off at 3:36 a.m.
Jeez.
You gonna wake up for that one?
Don't think so. He's projected to tie 86th.
There you go.
That's interesting.
That's interesting how they project stuff like that.
Yeah.
And DJ doesn't have a projection.
Yeah, right.
I
think it's just like a spite thing, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah,
right?
really.
Yeah. So interesting stuff there. Pump for the Open tomorrow, Tony. So we'll have in-depth coverage there. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yep, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So we had the All-Star game last night.
Oh boy.
Arlington, Texas. The AL victorious here 5-3. So winning once again after the NL had snapped what was a 9-year losing streak, I believe.
Yeah, 9 years. So it was their 10th win in 11.
10th and 11. Jarren Duran, a Riley favorite, winning the MVP with his go-ahead 2-run homer there in the 5th. Mason Miller, who I believe threw the fastest pitch in All-Star game history, 104?
Yeah, it was like 103 and high change.
Okay. So he gets the win here. Hunter Green served up that home run. He gets the loss. And the AL smartly doesn't go with Clay Holmes to close it out. They go with Emmanuel Clase, and he gets the job done.
Also hitting 100 on the gun.
Also hitting 100 on the gun. So, I mean, there it was. There it goes. I mean, Skeen's performance was nice to see. I mean, any takeaways here, Tony, from the All-Star game? Other than it needs to be better. Back to the negativity?
Yeah, I guess a little bit, dude. I mean, again, for me, you know, I'm a Met fan here, so
Wait, you're a Met fan?
exactly, dude. So you know, the on the field interview with Harper, Turner, and Bohm, like could have done without that. The Soto and Judge are mic'd up in the outfield, or like again, it wasn't a lot of juice for me in general. The broadcast was okay. I feel like they had some technical difficulties with the on the field interviews like that during the game, which it happens, whatever. Again, I guess the coverage was fine. But I don't know. It just wasn't a ton of juice here for me. It was cool, to see some of these guys, obviously getting together. You don't see that very often. A lot of great players in the same team, which is cool. You certainly don't often see, 8 different pitchers, during the course of one game here. Nonetheless, though, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like the amount of juice surrounding this game isn't a ton. It's dope to see Ohtani hit that dinger. They were literally talking about him too. Judge and Soto in the outfield, how great he is, whatever. But I don't know. I think MLB Network in general could do a better job in covering some of these things. Like I said, during the game is fine, but the lead up to it, like the whole red carpet event, don't need that. I think it's kind of lame. They didn't even do a good job with that. And then in terms of, I guess, the level of play, I mean, I guess the level of play was kind of high.
Right.
If you ask me, I mean, Skeens was out there throwing 100. Mason
Class
Miller
A.
was, they were throwing hard. They weren't
Seth
really.
Lugo.
Seth Lugo was giving his best out there, probably happy to be there.
Yeah.
We know he was happy to be there. But I don't know, man. I just feel at the end of the day, if this game meant a little bit more, it would be a better game,
Right.
Like it would have been cool to see Skeens, go out there for the to start, be like the actual starter would be cool.
Yeah. But they're not going to do it.
But they're never going to do something like that again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think there's ever going to be a scenario in which they think they could or have a reason why or whatever. But like you said, it came, it went, the AL won. It seemed like the players had a good time. So, I mean, hey, it's the All-Star break.
I mean, I think the one thing that it has going for it is it's the most representative version of itself in terms of professional sports in an All-Star game. It's not even close. The other sports don't even come close.
They don't. I mean, those other sports don't play a real game even, So.
Yeah, because the NBA does that Elon ending or whatever now.
And they have, isn't it like it's a point, like, isn't it like whoever reaches this point?
Well, that's what,
right?
that's what
it's
is.
called.
Yeah,
Elon.
Yeah. Who even knows what that is?
Yeah, really.
So at least that has going for it. And I don't know. It's weird because, like, obviously the negative Yankee stuff, of course, I wasn't a fan of. But with big games, it does feel like Joe Buck was better than Joe Davis.
Did he say a lot of negative Yankee things?
Yeah, it was always kind of just his style. It just seemed like he wasn't rooting for the Yankees, like the Houston Astros, LCS, that type of stuff. But what do you think? I mean, do you think Buck brought it a little more than Joe Davis?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Buck was okay by me.
Yeah.
So I guess Davis is like, kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, for some reason, I don't know if it's one of those things we get too nostalgic. Everything before was better, that type of thing. But
yeah, you've been feeling that a lot recently, huh?
Doesn't it not apply for a lot of things, though?
It sucks that it kind of does a little bit, I guess.
Movies, music, the Yankees. Golf, though, just as good as it always was.
Honestly, that's one thing they've kept up. They've stayed true.
But then you could argue, is the PGA Tour not as good because they don't have those guys? That's gonna be something when that finally happens, though.
Yeah, dude. Like, what is the timetable on that thing? Coming to a close,
dude. Timeline. Live comment?
Timetable?
Is it more
line, dude?
Do we have a preacher again?
We have Matthew Ryan,
He's
dude.
preaching that the NL has the crappy Mets players. That why the NL lost. LOL. I'm sure he was chuckling at the Alonso strikeout. Did you see the highlight of it, Tony?
I did see the highlight of it, dude.
What happened there? What was the breakdown?
I mean, he was struck out on a fastball. He was behind on it and underneath it. Clearly, Zach and I watched it back a few times on the replay. Definitely looking for that dinger.
Right.
Unable to find it. But I mean, again, that's it's very interesting because Zach and I were talking about it, and I don't know, man. I think the MLB in just generally can do a better job with coaching players when talking to the media.
Mm-hmm.
And also like get fucking better people to interview them during the red carpet. Cause it's embarrassing that like this, I mean, again, nothing personal against whoever the woman was interviewing the players and stuff.
Yeah.
And it may have been just, then this was just what I saw from her. I don't know who else was interviewing, whatever. But obviously I saw her interview, like Freeman, Alonso, even Bohm too. And just the questions were dumb. Like she asked, Alonso and his girlfriend, like what they were wearing, like as if we're at the fucking Oscars, dude. Like, why don't you ask like have a legitimate interview?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, Alonso, like what are your thoughts after the home run derby? Like, how do you think about your performance and the others? Like, obviously get something out of him. Instead, he's stumbling over himself, thinking about who made his fucking bolo tie, which doesn't even matter.
Right.
And it's like, take this opportunity to get a real interview going, to get something out of these players to make them marketable. And again, maybe it could be Bohm, it could be Alonso. Those are two guys that seem like they're not media friendly guys. Bohm is just like a 2-word answer every time. And it's just like, I don't know, dude, they can do a better job with representing the players. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're presenting these players to the world, and you can do a better job doing it. And I think it would create, again, more of a buzz for even players to come in. Like, oh, I do want to participate here. Like, let's get something going for people to watch, and to just make this event a little bit more grand. I mean, again, short of going there, I mean, it didn't really seem like it's not great to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
It seems like an event to be better to go to. And in my opinion, I mean, baseball, I think, is one of the better sports to be watching on TV.
Right. And it just kind of has turned into something like we talked about yesterday, where you want to see your guys, but
right.
Then other than that, there's random people you want to see. But
that's also something I was thinking about too. Is like, am I really just kind of tight that I'm just looking at Alonso, and like no one else really from the Mets?
Yeah. Couldn't have had a worse All-Star weekend between the Derby and then he strikes out his only at bat.
No, literally though, like he had a horrific All-Star weekend.
Bringing it.
Like what it really is, dude, a shame. But I mean, I guess probably potentially last All-Star we'll see him as a Met.
Percentage that he's gone for the 30th.
I would say
July.
like I don't know, like high 60% percentile.
What do you think, Zach?
I think it's about 50-50 right now.
50-50. So do you think it depends on how they play till the deadline?
Yeah, it depends on how he plays, especially till the deadline.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's doing pretty well overall, but
yeah,
he seems kind of lost in the shuffle, even with how we've been playing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you think of impact players recently, his name doesn't really exactly come into play here. I mean, you think of Lindor, you think of Martinez, Vientos, Alvarez, like he's a little bit lower down there. Jose Butto, dude. Jose Iglesias.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens with him. It's always kind of tough when you have a player who's on the fence about being moved. It's like you want them to do well, so his value uphold. But then if he's doing well, it's like almost should you keep him? It's like such a weird middle ground,
the
dude.
Difference here is that because he's going to be a free agent, I don't think you could be sold even if he had a ridiculous second half. I don't know if you're really sold on $300-400 million for him.
No, I think at the end of the day, he's not going to be worth the amount of money he wants, which is why I'm leaning towards he does get dealt. And also, I mean, if Matthew Ryan is correct here, he says Alonso's not a good guy.
That's not how you spell his name.
It's
right?
Definitely not. It's ALON. But regardless, he says, LOL, what a rep at for the Mets. What about wild card? The Mets won't get the wild card. This is a Yankee town. I mean, listen, Matthew, first of all, you're from New Jersey. Second of all, they're currently in the wild card spot, and they will get a wild card spot. Will Alonso be on the team? Probably not. But that's neither here nor there, okay? What do you think of the unis, dude?
Terrible. That's something that I would think, because there's the players have talked about it a lot. I think they're gonna switch it back, where those type of jerseys, the generic ones, are for the Derby, and then they go back to team uniforms for the game. It seems like that's what everybody wants. So they haven't made an announcement of that, but you would think enough public sentiment would push that in that direction.
I would honestly love that. We would have said that before the show. And keeping the
It's
special
so
jerseys
easy,
for the
but it's so
derby, too.
easy to do. You're
Yeah,
not like eliminating anything. You're
Right.
just changing the order of sequence. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly, dude.
difficult.
And I mean, I don't know. The AL uniforms were kind of cool with like the tan, the off-white. Looked looked like classic.
Yeah.
But the NL with the blue and the black, I mean, I wasn't really loving it that much. But I mean, I think that again, I don't know, we're splitting hairs, nitpicky. Wow, Josh B coming out here calling out Matthew Ryan, says he isn't watching the games, dude.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't think he is, dude.
I don't necessarily think so either.
Especially with the Mets games. Why would he be watching the Mets games?
He's not.
He's definitely not watching the Mets games.
Yeah, he's probably watching some of the Yankee games. I mean, I'll give him that.
Yeah, I think so. And I can see him, working at ShopRite, the carts, easy to have it on your phone, at least listening to it on the radio or something through headphones.
Yes, app.
Yeah, dude, that's got to be nice.
How about the All-Star game has meaning like whoever wins hosts the World Series? Suck it, Matthew Ryan.
No, Matthew Ryan, I think that is a good call right there. I mean, we talked about that yesterday too. That I think would be something. We'd be adding something to the game, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? No, don't care. What do you think is one thing?
Well, I guess that's the only thing you really could do if you really think about it.
I was going to
else
say,
could you really do?
What else could you add to this to make the players play like a real game?
Money. But the home field advantage actually is like, even though people didn't like it, it didn't make sense to a lot of people.
It doesn't make any sense to me,
honestly. The only thing
honestly.
short of money, because then the manager manages differently. Oh, we have to win. It's not about getting all these guys in the game. Right now, this has turned into every guy's got to get in the game, and that's it. Like, you had guys in the NL pitching for 1 out just to get guys in the game.
Which is so stupid, dude. But I guess we'll see. So, I mean, I don't know. Winning team, what? Every player gets $1 million? That's not even enough, dude. Like, how? Come on.
No, who's paying for that?
Exactly. Who's going to pay for that?
$65 million in the All-Star game, and then what's it going to generate? Like 10?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
A
new car? No.
No, you have to just do whatever you can with the money, and then you have to bring back the home field advantage. And then Matthew Ryan says he watches both the Yankees and the Mets game, and then Josh says it's because it used to be that way and it was stupid. Having All-Stars
determine home field terrible, he says.
How many players won't be in the World Series? True. But I think that the only reason, like kind of what he said, that's how it used to be. It's something you could do. What else could you do? I guess it's just money. But like, I don't know how you're going to generate that money.
There's no way you're not. You're going to be losing. But again, like I think that's a decision up to the league, though. I mean, do you want to spend money and lose money just to have a great event? I mean, again, MLB generates roughly 15 billion, 14 billion a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would, if I was the commissioner, I'd be like, sure, let's burn a few million and have a great All-Star game that's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I mean, dude, you said it yesterday. There was a time where you would never see these matchups, these great players in the same team. It would be cool to see like a starter go out there and like you guys again, like having even like a limited roster so that being an all-star means even more, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that they're getting, I mean, they're probably not going to change any of it. So I don't even know if it's even worth talking about, dude.
True. Matthew Ryan says Mets are hot garbage. How can they be Mets fans?
Come on, Matthew. Like, what are we talking about?
No, I mean, listen, I'm not saying I don't agree with Matthew, but it does seem he's a little obsessed with it, honestly.
Listen, that's what happens with Yankee fans, dude. Okay, they can't handle the Mets being good.
The Mets aren't good. So there's nothing to handle.
Are they not good?
They've had a good stretch, but overall, they've been a mediocre team this year. They're 2 games over 500.
How would you define mediocre?
That they've been around 500 or under 500 for the majority of the season.
So what constitutes good?
10 over.
10 over.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not
yet.
They're not going to be
yet.
Honestly, second half way under 500.
Stop it, dude. That's ridiculous.
How many wins?
I can say by the end of the year. I still think they can go 10 games over. They can finish at 10 games over.
10 games over, so that would be what, 80? Is it possible to be 86, 76? Yeah. 86, 76.
Great math.
I'm gonna say 80 and 82.
Missing the playoffs,
missing the
obviously.
playoffs,
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Once again, Josh saying, "How about these guys are all stars for a reason? They should play the way knowing they're not playing a full 9-inning game. They get paid that money, especially for an all-star." True, it just it makes sense, but again,
Yeah, but see,
it doesn't.
like, I don't know. See, like, to say that these guys are all stars for a reason, and should play that way, they're knowing that they're not playing a full 9. Wait, and should play
Like, he
that
just
way,
means saying you should
knowing
go
they're
all
not
out, but
playing
it's
a
like
full 9-inning
you
game.
should do this, you should do that, but that doesn't
Like,
translate.
I feel like not all these guys necessarily do deserve. I mean, I don't think Alonso really warranted an all-star spot.
Yeah, I mean, but I think obviously the majority of the people do. So I think that's just kind of what he was harping on. I mean, obviously you have some guys that are debatable every year. That's just how it is.
I actually it's kind of funny. I was surprised how good Kirby Yates's numbers are, dude.
Really good. Yeah, I picked him up. I think in our league.
Really?
Like
tremendous. He's like a 1 ERA.
Yeah.
And for the Rangers too, I just kind of like assumed he wasn't doing good numbers. And then Matthew Ryan back in here. Mets subpar, no chance at playoffs. 0% chance in the playoffs for the Mets. I would place a bet on it. It's a fact. No
right
Mets,
with you, brother.
No playoffs. Well, let's go, Matthew Ryan. What do you want to put on it, dude?
Yeah,
put anything you want, dude. You'll be me versus you. Heads up. Let's go, dude.
Mano.
Exactly.
How about in our league, like struggling this week, down 9-4, but I have 5 closers with Devin Williams returning after the All-Star break. So 6 closers. How you beat me in saves? Let's hear it.
You can.
Exactly. Kind of a good strategy.
A great strategy, dude. I've been riding Clase all season. So.
How many closers do you have?
I got Clase. I guess I got Kimbrel. I think we have who's the closer for the Dodgers? I think I have him.
Jeez.
I know, dude. Blanking right now.
It's not Hudson.
No. Is it Phillips?
I think it is.
It is Phillips. Yeah. Phillips. I got him.
So
he's been doing
3.
Okay. Yeah, 3.
Wait, are we having an earthquake or?
I think there's people upstairs.
I forget there's an upstairs. Honestly.
Yeah, me too, dude. Yeah, 3 is kind of maybe a little light, dude.
He wants to bet you dinner.
He wants to bet me dinner. Oh, sorry. Tony Dinner, you come up here.
Dinner,
I will pay dinner. Okay, I'm down with that. So, like, winner has to travel, but the loser pays.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Done.
Yeah, let's go. Josh B says, by the way, it's one category with the risk of blowing up your ERA with one blown.
Yeah, but I would argue that, Josh, that I think the starters blow up the ERA more so than the closer. Because even if the closer gives up 3 runs, it's 3 runs over 1 inning. Wait that out with a good start. Starter gives up 6 runs in 3 innings. That's a lot harder to make up for.
Yeah, no, I agree. I kind of see it from both sides, I suppose.
Well, and I just think too. I mean, what's the average release closer's ERA versus the average starter's ERA? I mean, obviously the closer is going to have a lower ERA.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I just think that there's just the quality of starting pitching is just not there.
I know.
Like it used to be.
Sorry. I got some good confidence in my starters.
But I'm just saying, just across the league. I mean, in this league. My starters are Zach Gallen, Nick Lodolo, Freddie Peralta, Michael King, Bailey O'Bear.
I mean, it sounds like you kind of drafted it a little bit iffy.
Michael King, Freddie Peralta. I mean, Peralta's good. King is good. Gallen just missed some time with injury, but I mean, what's his ERA this year? I mean,
Zach
it's
Gallen?
3.87. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yeah, I guess so.
O'Bear has been on a bender. He's ranked 57th, Tony. He's got a 4.14 ERA, but had a tough start, but he has 106 strikeouts already. Michael King, just outside the top 100 here, 129 strikeouts, 111 innings, 3.41. That's pretty good. And then Freddie ranked 138 for 11 ERA, 130 strikeouts. So, the ERAs could be lower. So in Lodolo, I just picked up, he's 107th, and I don't know why people don't like him. His ERA is only 3.3.
That's good.
But he was just sitting out there in our league, and he's like 80% owned. I don't know.
Yeah.
Josh dropped him.
You're welcome for Lodolo. Ha! It's actually funny. A lot of pitchers, because I picked up Gray and Lugo, who are both sitting out there.
Yeah.
And they're great, dude.
Yeah.
Mitch Keller's been all right for me. He's got what? I think he's got like a 4. No, he's got like 3.2 ERA right now.
There you go.
So pretty solid. He had a rough start for the Pirates too. It is tough with Bobby Miller for me though, for the Dodgers, because
yeah,
God, dude, it's tough.
Josh B had no room for Lodolo. Look at my staff, lol.
All right, Josh B.
And how about this, Tony? For my last 3 picks of the draft, Jarren Duran, Devin Williams, Logan O'Hoppe, or O'Hoppe, whatever.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
I would say very impressive.
Duran, I mean, is unbelievable.
What place are you in?
Is it 4th?
Third. You're in 3rd.
Yeah. Josh right behind me.
Josh is right behind you.
Irvin, Kirby, BB, Bryce Miller, Cutter Crawford, Ronaldo Lopez, Zach Wheeler, Framber Valdez, Tanner Houck with DeGrom on the IL. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get.
Houck is great, dude. Wheeler, too, great. DeGrom on the IL. He's going to stay there probably. I am pumped to see. I got Senga, so I'm pumped to see what he's going to look like coming back.
Devin Williams, I have him in 3 leagues. One of the best relievers in the game. So that's going to be exciting shortly there after the break coming back. So
let's go.
So yeah, I mean, we'll have the Open tomorrow, second half of the baseball season on Friday. So a lot on the horizon. But once again, we appreciate everybody who tuned in today and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the rest of their day, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.